Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first by extending a warm welcome to you to our channel, Forex OG's Trading Varsity's YouTube channel. If you look at the video that we uploaded before this one, it is a self-explanatory video. We are basically telling you what it is we intend to do with this channel, which direction we will be taking this channel going into the future. And if you have not yet watched that video, then please go to that one and you will understand what it is we intend to do with this channel going into the future. My name is Shucks, and this channel belongs to myself and my partners Eric and Romeo, and some of the lessons and teachings that will be coming your way in this channel will be done by myself, and some of them will be done by Romeo, and some of them by Eric. So we have a lot of things planned for you this year. We have a lot of exciting things coming your way, and let's begin by starting with the basics. Right, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to start with MetaTrader 4 navigation, the Mt4 navigation, and this is a lesson where I'll be showing you how to navigate through your MetaTrader 4 trading platform. Right, so first things first, when you download your MetaTrader 4 trading platform, it looks something like this. This is like the default settings of the MetaTrader 4 trading platform, right? And I've already added a trading account. It's a demo trading account. But if you want to add a trading account, you'll simply go here to accounts right here, right? And you can right click on there and go to log into trading account, and you'll put in your login and your password. Now these you'll find on your email of whatever broker that you have chosen, right? Your broker will send, once you finish registering a trading account, your broker will send you your login details. So they'll send you your login and your password. And what you'll also input here is the server, right? And then you'll click on login. Now, because I've already done that, I don't need to log into this account, so I'll just click on cancel. And this is what you will see right here, right? You see that you have your trading account balance right there, you have your equity right there, and your free margin right here. So I'm going to show you how to set up this platform right here. The first thing that you want to do, I'll show you how to set up your chart so that it is nice and neat, because when we are trading, we want to be looking at, you know, neat charts, clean charts. We don't want charts that are filled with a whole lot of things, making you know, trading a little bit more difficult than it should be, right? We want our charts to be clear and we want them to be clean. And then I'm going to be showing you all these things: your market watch, your navigator, your terminal, and all of these things, what they are, all these things that are lying here on top, what they are and how we use them when we are maybe analyzing the markets and so on and so forth. Right, so let's begin with setting up the chart. I'm just going to maximize this. Let me do this so that you can see how I did that. You click here, you maximize the one chart, and you can see that you have your individual charts right there. You have your Euro USD chart, you have your USD CHF chart, and so on and so forth, right? So if you want to move to the next chart, you just click on it there. You want to move to the next one, you click on it there. You want to move to the next one, you click on it there, and so on and so forth. Right, so I want to change the color scheme of this particular chart right here, right? The first thing that I want to do, I see that there's a grid on here. The first thing that I want to do before I even remove the grid, I want to change the color scheme to black and white, because that is the color scheme that I personally am using most of the time. It looks nice for me. It's nice and clear for me. Candlesticks that are black and white, you know, representing the bullish candlesticks and the bearish candlesticks, and so on and so forth. And in lessons that come after this, I'm going to be teaching you exactly what candlesticks are, and you know what trading is, how to trade, and all of that. We'll have your trading basics, you know, lessons that are introducing you to what trading is, you know. So let's begin by fixing up this chart. So we'll right click on there, right click on your mouse, and first thing we want to remove is the grid. So we'll just click on grid right there, and you can see that your grid is no longer there. The next thing that we want to do, this line right here, it's an indicator. If you put your mouse on there, you can see that this is a moving average, right? And we want to remove that moving average. So we'll right click on it and we'll delete the indicator, right? The next thing that you want to do is right click on your chart again and go to properties. Now I said that I want to use a color scheme that is black and white, right? So I'll choose the color scheme right here and I'll go to black on white, right? And I'll click on OK. So you see that my color scheme is now black and white. Now, something that you notice, if I'm trying to move my chart, trying to go back in history, I cannot do that because my chart goes back to where price currently is. How I want to prevent that from happening is that I want to click on here. You see it says that scroll the chart to the end on tick incoming. So I want to click on that. Then I'm able to move my chart freely as I want to without it going back to where price currently is, right? And I can click on here and the chart will just come closer and I can go back, but every time I want to go back to where price currently is, I'll just click on there twice and my chart will be sitting like that right there. So if you don't want your chart to move, you can click on there and you can see that every time you try to move on your chart, it will take you right back to where price currently is, right? So another thing that we want to do is we want to just remove this because this we use for our buying and selling. If you want to buy in the market, you'll click on there. If you want to sell in the market, you'll click on there. So you just want to hide this trade panel so that you get a full view of your chart, right? Now I want to save this this template right here. I want this template to be saved so that anytime I want to fix another chart or bring another chart to this color scheme, I'll just simply have it as a template, right? Like for example, this USD CHF. I don't want to go through the hassle of removing the grid and going to properties and changing the color scheme and removing the indicator and all of that, right? I just want to make it easier for me to make it look like this chart, right? What I'll do is I'll go on templates right there on top, templates, and I'll save this template. Right. Just wait for it a second. And I want to give the template a name. Right, so we'll say that the name of this template is Forex OG's template. Right, and I'll click on save. So if I go on to templates, I'll see that I have this template right here now, Forex OG's template. This is a custom template, right? I'll go on there and click on template, and this chart changes and it begins to look like this one. If I want to do the same for this chart right here, I'll just click on that template. If I want to do the same for this chart, I will click on that template right there. Now the next thing that I want to do is this whole business right here makes our chart look small, right? So we want our chart to fill the screen. Now what we want to do is we want to remove our market watch, we want to remove our navigator, and we want to remove this business right here that has our trading balance and equity and all of that. That is called the terminal, right? Your terminal shows you can see your account history on there. You know, if you had placed trades, you'll look for them on your, if you had placed trades and then closed them, you'll check them on your account history and so on and so forth, right? So you want to close that terminal and you have your chart sitting on the entire screen right there. Now I want to show you what all of these do, right? So when we are trading, we look for trades on multiple time frames, And these are our time frames right here. Just wanna, okay, these are our time frames. We have the 1 minute time frame, right? And you can see that your 1 minute time frame, for every 1 minute there's a new candlestick that is forming. Every 1 minute there's a new candlestick that is forming right there. We have the 5 minute time frame, and every 5 minutes we have a new candlestick forming. We have the 15 minute time frame, and similar thing, every 15 minutes we have a new candlestick forming. We have the 30 minute time frame, the 1 hour time frame, and this is how you just navigate across the time frames. We have the 4 hour time frame, the daily time frame, the weekly time frame, and the monthly time frame. So if you want to change from one time frame to another, in the lessons that are coming, I will be teaching you about things like top-down analysis and trading on different time frames and so on and so forth. And this will be very important when you get to that lesson, knowing how to navigate through the different time frames. Right. In here we have basically what I can call our tools of analysis. We have our cursor right here. We have our crosshair right there. Now our crosshair, this is a tool that we use, that we have different uses for. Sometimes if you want to just know, like at this particular price, or say for example at this particular price, you want to know at this particular price what was the date and the time at that particular, the date and time at that particular price, and also you want to know what was the price that the market was trading as at. So what you will do is you will grab your crosshair from there, right? And you will put it to where you want to see your date and time and obviously your price, and your crosshair will show you all of that. I mean, you can see going down, you have the 30th of December 2022 at 1 a.m. and going to the side you have your price right there, 132.495. And what we use our crosshair for also is for calculating our pips. You can pull your crosshair from there to there, and it will give you your amount of pips. So you have 3 numbers appearing on the crosshair. Let me just pull it to this open space. You can see that where I'm holding it right now, you have the number 60, you have the number 662, and you have the number 133.327, right? Those are the numbers that appear on your crosshair. So the first number represents the amount of candlesticks that you have from where you pulled your crosshair to where your cursor is currently sitting. So we can say that from where we pulled our crosshair there to there, we have 60 candlesticks, right? The next number represents your amount in pips, your amount of pips, the amount of pips that you have gone down, up or down in the market. So if I pull the crosshair from here to down there, it gives me 39.55, right? So we will cancel the last number in that number, and the first 2 numbers in this case we'll be having, that's 87 pips, because it's 876. So the first 2 numbers, we cancel out the last number and we focus on the first 2 numbers. So that will be 87 pips. If we go down there and we cancel out the last number, that is 1. We cancel out 1. And what remains is 373. So that will be 373 pips. And the last digit that you see appear on your crosshair right there is the price, the exchange rate right here. So as I'm pulling it down, it tells you where the cursor is sitting currently. If you look to the side, that is the exchange rate that you will see, right? So that is how we use our cursor. Right here we have our vertical line. We have multiple uses for our vertical line when we are analyzing, and when we go deeper, when we dive deeper into the lessons, into the actual lessons, then you will see how we use this vertical line. But it basically shows you across the chart. Down here it gives you your exact date and time where you placed your vertical line. Now you can edit this vertical line. If you double click on it, you can change its color. For example, you go to vertical line properties, you double click on it, you go to vertical line properties, and you can change its color. You can change it to blue if you want to. You can change it to red, whatever color that you want to change it to. Let's just make it blue and say okay. And that is how you edit your vertical line. This right here is your trend line. You notice that when you pull your trend line right there, you can see that it moves across the chart like that. In most instances, we want to be able to pull our trend line maybe from here to there, and it must not do something like this. So how we edit that is we click on it, we double click on it, then we right click on it, and we go to trend line properties. When we get to trend line properties, you can see right here, you can change its color and its thickness and so on and so forth, right? You can even change whether it's a straight line or a broken line and so on and so forth, right? So let's just make it a little bit thicker. We change its color to black, and we change the perimeters to avoid it being like this, pulling across the entire chart. We just change its perimeters from ray, and we say okay, right? And you can see that now if you change it back to ray, then you can see that it's spreading across the entire chart. But if you change that from ray, then this is how it looks. Now you can pull it from anywhere. You can pull it from there to there if you want to, and you can add another one and pull it from there, and you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever drawings that you want on your chart right there, right? And if you want to remove these lines, like I've placed both these lines right here, just click on your backspace button. You have a backspace button on your keyboard. When you click on it, it removes the one line. When you click on it again, it removes the other line. If you don't want to do it that way, you can just double click on it, right click on it, and then delete, right? That is an easier method of removing the trend line right there. We then have the equidistant channel. This we hardly even use. I doubt I'm going to even teach you using this tool right here in any of my teachings, so it's pointless me explaining it to you. We then have the Fibonacci. Now the Fibonacci, I think almost everyone in trading uses the Fibonacci, right? And I'll show you in lessons where we'll be using the Fibonacci, or how to actually edit the Fibonacci to make it a custom fib. But this is what your Fibonacci basically looks like. Double click on it and we delete it. And we have our text. If you want to draw out some texts on your chart, you can simply go there and edit your text. We can say Forex OGs, and we can change the color of our text, make it blue, and we click on OK. And if you want to make it bigger, we can go to text properties again and choose the size of our text, right? That's how simple it is. Now the tools that you have here are not the only tools that the MetaTrader 4 platform has. You can right click on any one of the tools, anywhere in here. You can just right click on there and you can go to customize, right? So you can see in here you have your selected tools. You have the tools that are sitting right here. I said to you that we are not going to be using the equidistant channel, so we can remove it from here. We don't want it sitting here. Just remove it from there, and we can look in here what we need. This trend line by angle, this is something that we can use, so we want to insert it in here, and we go down. This rectangle is something that we use very often, so we want to add it also in there. And you can see the moment I add them in here, you can see them appear in there, right? Then we close, and you can choose whatever tools that you want to be sitting here. You can choose them according to what it is you use, what is it that's most important to you, and that is what you can put here, so that it makes your analyzing of the charts much easier. So for example, if I want to use the rectangle, you can just pull it there, and that will be my rectangle. If I want to change its color, I change it the same way I change any other tool. So if I want to make it red, I can make it red. If I don't want it to be colored inside, I can just right click on it and go to rectangle properties and go to draw object as background, right? And you can see now it's no longer colored in on the inside. Go to delete. The next thing that we want to look at, we know our template, what it works for. These are our time frames. If you want to shift to another time frame, this is a simpler method of doing it, but you can do it also there, right? And here we have our indicators list. Some of the time you'll be using, indicators, if you want to be using indicators. And for example, if you want to use one of the most famous indicators, we have the relative strength index. It's an oscillator right there, and we just go to OK. You can see that your indicator appears on this window at the bottom right there. So I want to remove this indicator right here. Just gonna right click anywhere on it, and I'm gonna delete the indicator to remove it on our chart. We said that we want to keep our charts clean. Now let's assume some of the times you're looking at your chart and you have all this information that you don't want to use. What you want to do is you want to click on this chart shift, move it back, and your chart can be sitting in the center if you are more comfortable analyzing whilst your chart is sitting there. But if you want your chart to be sitting on the side right there, that is entirely up to you, right? We have this arrange windows as non-overlapping tiles. If you click on that, it just shows you all your charts at the same time. It opens up all your charts, and remember that I said that you can maximize it to show one chart, or you can minimize it right there so that it shows you all the charts that you have open. Now if you want to open a new chart, let's just maximize one of the charts. We can see that we have Euro USD, USD CHF, GBP USD, and USD JPY. Let's assume that we want to open a new chart. We can go on there, create new chart, right? And which chart don't we have? Let's say we want to use a Forex Miner NZD USD. We opened a new chart right there, right? And we want to change the color scheme of this chart also. So we go back to templates, and we go to the Forex OGs template. You can name your template the way you want to name it. It can be your name, it can be the name of your business, it can be the name of your daughter, your son, it can be anything that you want it to be, right? So that is how it looks. If we want to add another chart, we'll simply add it from there. So whenever we are teaching and we say add a new chart, then you know that you just need to go there and you'll be adding a new chart anywhere from there, selecting whichever chart that you want to select from there. These are profiles. So you can have different profiles saved. You can see that right here we have the Euro USD, USD CHF, GBP USD, and so on and so forth, right? Let's just say that we want to change this, we want to save this template as currency trading, as a currency trading template, right? We can just go to save profile as, and we can say this is currency trading. This is a currency trading profile. We have different currencies, and we can go to OK, right? And if we want to access this particular profile, we can either access it there, currency trading. If you change your profile maybe to the euro, where you are only looking at the Euro USD from different time frames, different views. Change this template to this. Change that one. Sometimes you want to be looking at the market on different time frames, but you're looking at the same market. Like in this case, you're looking at the Euro USD 1 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame, and daily time frame, and you want it to be easy for you to sift through the different time frames, right? So it's easier for you to be using a profile of the euro, to be using your euro as a profile, right? If you want to go back to your currency trading profile where you have different currency pairs stacked here, then you can go back to this and go back to your currency trading, and you can create different profiles according to what it is you're trading. On my personal trading account, I have a profile where I only have the Nasdaq, for example. When I'm trading indices, that's the only profile that I want to be looking at. I have a profile where I'll have indices, like the Nasdaq, the US 500, the S&P 500, and I'll have the US 30, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and on that particular profile, I'll be looking at all those markets, and I'll have a profile where I have my currencies. I'll have a profile maybe where I have only the euro, where I have only the GBP USD, and in another profile maybe I'll be comparing between the euro and the GBP USD and the dollar index, and so on and so forth. So I can have different profiles for different trading sessions, and so on and so forth. So that is how your profiles work. When it comes to the market watch, you can see that the first important thing to note here is the fact that we have time here. This is your server time, and this time is usually it's accurate actually, and sometimes you just want to be using the time on your MetaTrader 4 platform instead of the time on your computer or a watch in your house. So it's easier to see the time according to your server on your MetaTrader 4 platform. And you have your different currency pairs. You have the difference between the bid and the ask price. So that's the difference between the buying and the selling price. So you can see the differences in spreads in the different currency pairs. I like to move this, right? I like to just drag it and move it. So it was sitting there. I like to drag it and move it. And I like to make it small like this and keep it in a corner somewhere. Something like this. This is just my personal preference, right? To keep it like this so that I have my server time on there. I have my server time on there, and I know that whenever I need time, I don't need to move away from my trading platform to get time or go out of my trading platform or anything of that sort. Right. Another thing that you want to look at is your data window. We have our navigator. If you want to click on your navigator, then you can get your account, you can get your different indicators and expert advisors. There are different things. If we give to you custom indicators, you'll save them on your indicators list and you'll find them there. Expert advisors, some of the trading softwares, if we give them to you, then you'll find them on expert advisors, and so on and so forth, right? So that is your navigator. In here you have your terminal. So your terminal is basically showing you your profits and losses, your account balance, and so on and so forth, your exposure to the market. You have your account history right there. You have your news events. Whenever a news event comes out, then it will be posted there. Let's just click on it and see what was happening here. We have USD CAD recovers above 13600. These are just basically market updates. If you want to use this, you may. If you don't, not very important. You have your alerts there, your mailbox, and your market, signals, and so on and so forth. So what you'll be using here inside the terminal most of the time is your trade and your account history. I think that's what you'll be using 90% of the time. So that's what's important to note. You can make this a little bit smaller by double clicking. Just take your mouse cursor onto this trade button right here and double click on there. Then you'll see that your profit and loss and your balance and all of that appears right here. And if you happen to place a trade, let's just assume we place a trade on there, accept one-click trading Okay, so we place a trade on there. Then immediately you see that your profit or loss begins to fluctuate in there, and you'll have your equity. This is your balance, the balance of your account, and your equity is your balance minus your profit or loss, or plus your profit or loss, right? And that will be your equity, right? If you double click on there, you can see that you placed a trade at this time. It's a selling trade, one lot size, NZD USD, the price at which you placed your trade, your stop loss level, your take profit level, the price that it's currently trading at. You have your commission amount, your swap, this is interest on overnight trades, and you have your profit or loss running there. Right, we just close that trade. Don't want to keep a trade running, and we close our terminal. I think so far, if you want to place a new trade, maybe a pending order, you have your market execution. This is where you enter a trade immediately. You have your pending orders, where you can place your buy limit trades, sell limits, and all of that. We'll have a specific lesson teaching you how to use your limit orders and so on and so forth. Right, and I think that's just about it. Insofar as the important things that are connected, you have your zooming in. If you want to zoom into the candlesticks, if you want to zoom out of the candlesticks so that you can see more of price, more of the market, you want to zoom back in, and that is basically it. Let's remove our market watch from there. I think we've covered most of the things that you need to know for a beginner for setting up your MetaTrader 4 platform. The rest of the things that you need to learn are things that will come in teachings. For example, when I'm talking about limit orders and using this tab right here, the new order tab, when we get to the lessons where we talk about limit orders, then you will begin to see more of the MetaTrader 4 platform in play, how to set up your limit orders, when we talk about how to set up stop losses and take profits and all of that. And these lessons are for beginners, people who have never been exposed to trading before, people who do not know at all what the market looks like, what the MetaTrader 4 platform looks like. This is aimed at making it easier for you guys, So for a person who has been trading for months or years, you could watch this lesson and maybe pick up a thing or two, or you could have watched this lesson and really picked up nothing. One thing that I can maybe teach you, for someone who's a little bit more, who's been using the MetaTrader 4 platform for quite some time, in a case where you want to set your, let's say your trend line, for example, and you want to make it straight, just place it on there, double click on it, and click on shift when you are dragging it. So that way you don't have the worry of, sometimes you place a line, you see this line is straight, nice and straight, right? Sometimes you place a line like this and you see it moving around like that. And if you want to make it straight, you will fuss about it, you're trying to make it straight, it doesn't want to come straight, and you'll be fussing about it, So if you just want an easier way to make it straight, that is just a trick. If you want to copy this trend line, you can double click on it, click on control, and drag it like that. Then you can edit it or place it wherever you want to place it. That applies also for your trend line, not your trend line, but your rectangle, and every other tool that you'll be using, really. Let's just make this colored in. So if you want to duplicate this, you'll just click on control and drag it out, and that makes it easy for you to duplicate your what can I call these? It's tools of analysis, basically. That works for your trend line, that works for your what do we call this, the trend line by angle, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I hope that I've clarified a lot of things insofar as the MetaTrader 4 trading platform is concerned. If you want to change the color scheme of your chart, you can always go to, if you don't like black on white, you can always go to right click on the chart, go to properties. You can use green and black. If you want your candlesticks to be red and black like the common candlesticks, you can change the colors in here. The bar up, you can make it green. Bar down, you can make it red. Bull candle green, bear candle, you can make it red. Click on OK, and this is the color scheme that is common, and you can just save this as Forex OGs green and red, and save that template right there. So if this is what works for you, you can change green and red, and yes, I think that's just about it for our MetaTrader 4 navigation lesson. We'll be having a lot of lessons where we'll be teaching. We'll be having a lot of lessons where we'll actually be trading, demonstrating to you, showing you how we trade the markets, and yes, we look forward to all of that. Actually, we are excited about all of it, and we hope that you'll get to learn a lot from us. Now, as I mentioned before, or if I didn't mention earlier on, if you want to familiarize yourself with who we are and what we are all about, you can go back to our social media platforms. You can find us on Instagram at Forex OGs, and you can find us on Facebook at Forex OGs Trading Varsity. We'll post the link to our Telegram channel on this on the description below this video right here, and that is where you'll find us, find our trading signals, and so on and so forth. We hope that this was an insightful video for you. Like and subscribe to this video if it was beneficial for you. Like and subscribe to this channel if this video was beneficial for you. And until we talk again next time, we are signing out.